The year is 2242. Humanity hasn't looked up at the stars in decades, not since the signal. It came without warning, a single, piercing broadcast from the void that silenced every satellite, every deep space probe, every communication network on Earth. It was a universal shushing, and for a generation, we obeyed. We grounded our fleets, shuttered our observatories, and turned our eyes inward, pretending the cosmos wasn't there. I, however, was born to look up. My name is Kellen, and my grandfather was the last captain of the starship Wanderer. His ship, like all the others, now floats in a silent, orbital graveyard above our planet. For 15 years, I've worked in the orbital debris cleanup crew. It's a glorified janitor job, but it gets me closer to the stars than anyone else. More importantly, it gets me closer to the Wanderer. Every night, in my cramped apartment, I'd pore over my grandfather's hidden logs, digital files he'd smuggled back to Earth. They were filled with star charts, encrypted data packets, and one recurring phrase: the echo is not the voice. He was obsessed with the signal, convinced it wasn't a warning, but a key. Yesterday, everything changed. During a routine debris sweep, my scanner picked up an anomaly. A faint, repeating energy pulse originating from the Wanderer's bridge. It was impossible. All ships were completely powered down, their fusion cores decommissioned. Official protocols demanded I report it immediately. But my grandfather's words echoed in my mind. So, I cut my comms, blaming a solar flare, and piloted my small cleanup rig towards the ghost ship. Docking with the Wanderer felt like shaking hands with a legend. The emergency airlock hissed open, and I stepped into a world frozen in time. The air was stale, filled with the scent of recycled oxygen and old metal. Gravity was a low, unsettling hum from the ship's emergency reserve, something that shouldn't have been active. I navigated the dark corridors with my helmet light, the beam cutting through decades of dust. My destination was the bridge. As I approached the bridge doors, the energy readings grew stronger. The heavy blast doors were sealed tight, but I had my grandfather's access codes. I keyed them into a dusty panel. For a moment, nothing happened. Then, with a deep groan of protesting metal, the doors slid apart. The bridge was not dark. A soft, blue light pulsed from the main holographic display in the center of the room. It was the source of the energy signature. Floating in the center of the blue glow was a complex, shifting geometric shape, a lattice of light that seemed to fold in on itself. As I stepped closer, the shape reacted to my presence, its pulsating rhythm syncing with my own heartbeat. On the captain's chair, my grandfather's old datapad was lit up. I picked it up. The screen showed a single message: the echo has found its receiver. Play the song. What song? I scrolled through the datapad, my heart hammering against my ribs. Tucked away in a secure folder labeled Lullaby was an audio file. My grandmother used to tell me stories about a simple melody my grandfather composed for her, a tune he said held the map of their hearts. Could it be? With a trembling finger, I hit play. A simple, haunting melody filled the bridge. It wasn't just audio. The ship's systems translated it into a series of light pulses and frequency shifts. The glowing shape in the center of the room began to spin faster and faster, expanding, its light filling the bridge with an intense, warm glow. The ship around me groaned and shuddered, not like it was breaking, but like it was waking up. Consoles flickered to life. The main view screen, dark for 30 years, blazed with the light of 1,000 distant stars. Then, the floor lurched. I grabbed a console to steady myself. The Wanderer was moving. It was pulling away from Earth's orbit, its long dormant engines firing with a silent, powerful grace. I was being taken somewhere. I scrambled to the captain's chair, trying to access the navigation controls, but they were locked. The destination was already set. Suddenly, a new voice filled the bridge, calm and synthetic, but with a strange, melodic cadence. Resonance confirmed. Welcome, inheritor. The path is now open. The voice wasn't coming from the ship's comms. It was coming from the light itself. The geometric shape pulsed, and I felt the voice not just in my ears, but in my mind. Who are you? What is this? I yelled into the empty room. We are the Weavers, the voice replied. The signal was not a warning. It was an invitation, a test of patience. We sought a civilization that could listen, not just shout. your grandfather understood. He knew the echo was a key, waiting for the right song to unlock the door. The Wanderer picked up speed, the stars on the view screen streaking into lines of pure light. The sensation was dizzying. "Where are you taking me?" I demanded, my fear battling with an overwhelming sense of wonder. "To the loom," the voice said, "where new realities are woven. Your species has reached its final thread in its home cradle. It is time to learn how to weave your own. Your grandfather gave you the map. You provided the key. You are the first." The ship shuddered again, more violently this time. Red alert lights began flashing on a few consoles. "External threat detected," the ship's computer announced in its familiar, monotone voice. On the view screen, behind us, a dozen smaller signatures were rapidly closing in. Earth's defense fleet. They had noticed the Wanderer's departure. "They cannot follow where we are going," the Weaver's voice assured me. "But their methods are disruptive. We must accelerate." The light in the center of the room flared, becoming almost blinding. The feeling of movement intensified 100-fold. It felt like my very atoms were being pulled apart and reassembled. The defense fleet's ships vanished from the view screen, replaced by a swirling tunnel of incandescent color and impossible geometry. It was beautiful and terrifying. I felt a profound sense of leaving everything behind: my home, my life, everything I had ever known. "The signal silenced your world to protect it," the Weaver's voice explained, softer now. "There are others who heard our call. Others who are not Weavers, but unravelers. They hunt for new threads to consume. The silence kept you hidden, but now you are awake. And you will be hunted." The tunnel of light collapsed, and we were floating in a new kind of darkness. Outside the view screen was not the familiar starscape of my universe. It was a sea of shimmering, silver threads, crisscrossing in an infinite, cosmic web. In the distance, massive, crystalline structures drifted like islands, glowing with internal light. This was the loom. "What happens now?" I whispered, my voice barely audible. The glowing shape on the bridge pulsed gently. "Now, you learn. You will be the architect of your people's next chapter. But be warned, inheritor, every thread you weave will cast a shadow. The unravelers are drawn to the light of creation. They are already aware of your arrival." As the voice spoke, I saw it. Far in the distance, one of the silver threads vibrated, then snapped. A patch of darkness, a hole in the fabric of this place, began to spread, consuming the light around it. It was moving towards us. The datapad in my lap chimed. A new message appeared, in my grandfather's handwriting. "Kellen, if you're reading this, you made it. I'm sorry, I had to choose. The song was the only way. Don't let them unravel our thread. The echo is not the voice, it's a choice." The patch of darkness grew larger, an all-consuming void coming for the Wanderer. The Weaver's light on my bridge pulsed, a silent question. The controls were now unlocked. The ship was mine to command. But where could I go? What could I do? I was a janitor who had just stumbled into a war at the heart of creation. My grandfather had started this. Now, it was up to me to finish it. The darkness was coming, and I had a choice to make.